Hello, this is Kate from Daily Tarot Girl, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. For this week's reading, I'm using a new deck that I just got. It is the Egyptian Art Nouveau Tarot, and the artist is Giulia Massaglia. I love Egyptian themed things, so I'm excited to use this deck. This, I think, will be my first reading that I've done with this deck, so I'm excited to see what cards are going to come up. So this is your weekly forecast reading. So as always, I choose 3 cards for the week ahead, and each card is going to represent a theme of the week ahead. Now, take a moment and gaze at these cards, and you may find yourself drawn more to one particular card than the others. See if that is true for you. And then just remember what card you chose, and let's just see if the messages that come through with that card resonate with you more strongly than the other cards. Okay, so normally when I do these readings, I will, like, each card will represent a portion of the week, like beginning, middle, end. But I'm just going to do something different, and each card is just going to represent a theme that's going to pop up for us this week. So if you enjoy this video, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me. Okay, first card. We have the, I believe this is the King of Swords. King of Swords. Okay, so let's talk about the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is not a bundle of laughs, obviously. Like, look at his face. He's super serious. He is a little bit stuffy, and he does take things really seriously. And he kind of reminds me of, like, in astrology, he would be sort of like a Virgo, like very analytical mind, can kind of be overly serious sometimes. So that I think of him as being a little bit Virgo-esque, and I'm a Virgo, so I can I can say that. So the King of Swords, the message for you for this week is to pay attention to the details, particularly when it comes to signing contracts, making agreements with others, signing up for things, committing to things. Make sure you have all the information of what it is that you're agreeing to. Don't just say, oh, okay, I'll just agree to that, and then hopefully it all works out and we'll get the details ironed out later on. Like, no, make sure that you have this really clear understanding of what is involved with anything that you're committing to this week, however big or however small. So that's the first step. Don't overlook the little details, because they might feel insignificant right now, but later on down the road, those details are actually going to be important. So pay attention to the little details. And the King of Swords is encouraging you to honor your mind and use your mind, use your intellect. And so the mind is really great at organizing things, putting things into boxes, kind of compartmentalizing things, organizing things, having a strategy, like thinking ahead and having a plan, not just wing it or flying by the seat of your pants, but actually sitting down and having some sort of a plan. I think of the King of Swords as being the kind of character who would love to make lists, like checklists, to-do lists. He'd definitely be into bullet journaling. So that's the kind of approach to things that might be helpful for you this week. And this isn't going to be true all the time. There's some weeks where being very intuitive and going with the flow and just seeing where life takes you, that's the approach that's needed. But this week, it feels like having more of an analytical, organized, well thought out, planned approach to life is what's going to be most helpful. Okay, the next card we have is the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is, I often call this card the success card. it's like you go out and do something and you succeed, and then you come back to your hometown and everyone cheers for you as you roll in on your horse. They're like, yay, you did it. That's kind of what I think of when I see this card. So 6 of Wands is a card of success. So there is this energy of success kind of in the air this week. So you may find yourself succeeding at certain things that you set out to do. It's also encouraging you to recognize all the places in your life where you are successful. So doing a little bit of an inventory, looking at all the different areas of your life. What areas are you the most successful in? According to your own definition of success, not necessarily, society's definition, but your own definition. And look, even if you look back over your lifetime, where were those moments, those key moments where you think, oh, I really succeeded with that thing. That was a moment of success there. That was something I really achieved. I set out to do this thing and I achieved it. Like really looking back over your life and looking at all the different aspects of your life and recognizing where you were successful. That's going to be key when it comes to being successful at whatever you're trying to do right now, whether it's something major or just a small project or something. But noticing where you were successful in the past and where in your life you're currently successful, and even like looking at that and being like, okay, why am I successful at this thing? Like I personally am very successful, not to brag, but I'm very successful at maintaining a consistent fitness practice. It's not something I struggle with. I struggle with a lot of other things in life and a lot of other areas all the time, but that isn't one of them. So I can look at that and be like, okay, what is it? Why is this? Because that's not something that's easy for most people. So why am I succeeding in this one realm? Like what helps me succeed? And then I can think, oh, well, having variety, making it fun, genuinely enjoying it. Like those are all the things that make me succeed. So how can I then take all that stuff and apply it to the areas where I'm not as successful? Okay, so 6 of Wands, it's all about success. And I feel like you will have this kind of a burst of energy this week where there's a likelihood that you will be successful at something that you set out to do. And then third card, we have 5 of Wands. Okay, 5 of Wands is a card of like conflict, but it's like because the Suit of Wands is all about energy. 5 of Wands is about what happens when you get all these different energies and you put them all in the same container, the same room. So it could be different people with different energies and different agendas and ideas, and you throw them all together in the same workplace or family or friend group and then see what happens. So those kinds of situations do allow you to get clear on who you are, what's important to you. Those are always challenging situations. And the 5 of Wands isn't necessarily a terrible card, but it is a challenging card to get. Sometimes there is an element of competition and competitiveness, and there is always this feeling of people kind of fighting to be heard and seen. So everyone in this card has a different idea on how things should be done, and they're all kind of fighting for dominance, but really if you look underneath that desire for dominance, it's really just a desire to be seen and heard and acknowledged more than anything. So what's the message for you this week? So this week you might find yourself in the middle of these kinds of skirmishes, whether it's at work, with your family, socially, or even, and as I'm talking about skirmishes and conflicting energy, I hear my cats. They're playing, they're not fighting, but they kind of play fight, and I can hear them in the background meowing away. So another way to look at this card is that it might not represent conflict, with others, it can also be internal conflict and turmoil. So there may be different aspects of yourself that want different things. Like there's the part of me that is very free-spirited and doesn't like to have a plan and likes to kind of do things spontaneously. But then there is the part of me that is that super controlled Virgo, and I like to have a plan. And I have these two parts of me that sometimes fight for dominance. So that might be how you experience this card this week, is there's different parts of yourself that need and crave and want different things, and they might be fighting for dominance within you. So that's another way of, another thing to think about. Like, what are the different parts of me? What are the different opposing desires that I might have within me this week? And when this card comes up, it's coming up because you're ready for this kind of challenge, and you might succeed, you might fail, but you're ready for this kind of challenge. And this challenge, whether it's a challenge of dealing with your own inner conflict or dealing with conflict in the workplace or somewhere else, your neighborhood or your, PTA meeting or whatever. What was I saying? I totally forgot my train of thought. Whatever kind of situation you find yourself in, you're ready for this challenge. And this challenge is going to help you get clear on some things and propel you forward. Even if you don't resolve the original drama or the original conflict, the act of attempting to resolve it and attempting to understand the different viewpoints is going to help you get clarity and move forward in a helpful way, even if you don't resolve the initial conflict. Okay, so that has been your weekly reading. So I'm curious to know, what card did you choose in the beginning? And then now that you've heard the whole reading, what card did you resonate most strongly with? Was it the one you chose, or was it a different card? And I'm just going to look at all three cards to see if I see a theme. This deck is a very dude heavy deck. Like, there's a lot of guys in this deck. Oh, I guess there's a few women. I'm just kind of looking through it. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of guys in these cards. It's a masculine deck in some ways. So I'm just looking to see if there's any other symbols or themes that I want to point out. I feel like we're going to have to use our minds this week. This is a week for making your mind your ally. And your mind is really good, again, at organizing, figuring out what needs to be prioritized, having a to-do list, has a methodical way of thinking of things, looking at things. The mind is very good at analyzing. The mind can be kind of cold and impersonal, but it's also can be very useful. So I think whatever we do this week, making your mind your ally is going to be really helpful. Okay, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and have a good week.